Hi, I'm Greg Hunter, and this is the weekly news wrap-up for Friday, November 25th, 2011. Happy belated Thanksgiving, and happy Black Friday and Black Friday weekend. Well, the Occupy Wall Street protesters are using their First Amendment rights once again, and they're telling people not to shop, at least major corporate retail stores. I think this is a public relations disaster for them, a bonehead move. I don't understand why they're attacking retailers in a down economy. Meanwhile, the Tea Party is out telling people to boycott, actually spend money to help the economy. I hope the weekend goes good for the retailers. Man, they need the profits. Next up, the Super Committee turned into a super scam. And a lot of people on the USAWatchdog.com website said the Democrats and Republicans never intended to cut a deal. This was just a ploy to put this off until after the November 2012 election. Because after all, no real cuts happened until 2013. Now you think about this. This only cost America $2.4 trillion for Democrats and Republicans to pull this little shenanigans. This is unbelievable, reckless, crazy, pompous. We put up $2.4 trillion in the hope of getting them to cut the deficit, which is what, $15 trillion? And they didn't do it? Now, a couple of rating agencies says, oh, they won't cut the U.S. credit rating. But the Chinese credit rating, which is basically the Chinese, say, well, listen, we have a mountain of debt, and they're threatening to cut. Also, the S&P, the people who cut our credit rating the last time, put us on a negative credit watch. And I suspect one of these two agencies, if not both, will be cutting the debt rating of U.S. debt in the next few weeks. And boy, that's not going to go over well in world markets. Next up, Iran. They're reporting they've arrested 12 CIA agents. They say that these agents are suspected of trying to disrupt the Iranian nuclear program. They also say this is kind of a deal between the U.S. and Israelis trying to thwart this program. Pray for these agents because reportedly they all could be put to death. And finally, Syria. They're on the verge of a civil war. Now, what's going on over there is you have a Shiite minority which is basically in control of the military, and you have a Sunni majority by a large margin. But some say it's more than that. There's speculation going on that because the U.S. is leaving Iraq at the end of the year, that there are powerful forces out there in the West, including the U.S., trying to destabilize the Assad regime. And the reason why is they don't want Iran having influence in Syria, especially with the United States and coalition forces leaving Iraq. So what are they trying to do? Boot Assad out, just like Gaddafi. Try to boot him out. And they're supposedly giving a lot of support to the rebels that are in Syria. Now, this is a bloody, bloody mess. In the last 8 months since the uprising began, reportedly some 3,500 people have been killed, mostly the protesters. That's about 100 people a week. The Middle East is hot, and it's getting hotter. And finally, I want to come back to the Super Committee. You know, nothing has been done for unemployment extension benefits. That means people are going to be cut off in January if Congress doesn't do something in December. And what do we have? We have one side that wants to cut spending and one side that wants to raise taxes, and there is no middle ground between them whatsoever. These people are supposed to lead, and they're just not doing it. All they're really doing is jockeying for position for their party. And what they ought to be doing is pulling together for the good of the country. This is an outrage, and both Democrats and Republicans should be ashamed. I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for supporting USAWatchdog.com. That's the way I see it.